Before we start, guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you for getting me to over 1,000 subs. You are all legends. Hey gamers, I'm Cybersnack7. Hope we're all well, guys. Back again, already with another video. Yeah, it's just been over a week, I think, since my last video. Going to be a bit of a difference. I'm going to try and get more content up now. A new regime, a bit more structure in my life is needed. I'll talk about structure at the end of this video, but let's talk about what this video is going to be all about this time. And it's going to be about vinyl records and all my gaming vinyl records that I've been collecting over the last good year now, because for the last probably 2 years I've now been collecting gaming vinyl. I've gone ballistic on it ever since Data Disc decided to start producing some classic Mega Drive titles and bringing out the soundtracks for them. I've just been on the wagon and I've been totally picking up more or less anything and everything that appeals to me in the gaming world on vinyl. And I must have about 15 albums, so we're going to try and keep this short as possible because we've got a few more things to talk about afterwards. I just want to go through the gaming vinyls that I've picked up over the last, say, 12 months. As I say, there's 15 albums and I've just been absolutely ballistic on them. It's not everybody's thing, you know. If you're not into your vinyl, absolutely fine. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another video. But if you want to stay and you're interested in the gaming vinyls that I've got, stay tuned, guys, because we're going to start with vinyl number 1. Now, this one is a classic game. This comes from Black Screen Records. Now, I bought this probably, you're going back, this is probably into a year ago now, and it is Another World, the official soundtrack. Sorry about the glare, it's still got the actual plastic on it, but as you can see, it's a classic scene from the game itself. Obviously, you got how many have you got on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 tracks on there in total. You've got a mixture of tracks from one game, and then you've got certain intros and end intros from Amiga and the Windows 2004 version of the game. So the actual vinyl itself is a coloured vinyl, of course, and it's a classic blue vinyl. You can see your main character on there, and on the other side is Little Helper. Well, I'd say little, he's quite big, but absolute classic game. Love this soundtrack. Would have loved to have seen if they would have done a flashback soundtrack, because that would have been a nice complement to add to this vinyl. Now, this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to have a bit of an issue trying to get these back in, I think, but we shall endeavour and get these in. As I say, I don't know how long this video is going to last, so hopefully not too long. But that's the first one, guys. Brilliant vinyl. As I say, this is from blackscreenrecords.com. Whether they've got any available anymore, I'm not too sure, because you're talking about a year now since I picked this one up. But fantastic vinyl. Well happy with that. So there's vinyl number 1. Hopefully the glare won't be as bad now. The rest are out of the plastic covers. Right, let's talk about another company that I've picked up from. I pick a fair few up from Mondo. Mondo do a lot of records and a lot of memorabilia and things like that, but mostly vinyl for me. And this one I got probably, well, I think it was like mid last year, and this is from an absolutely fantastic PS4 title which came out. And I think with most of these vinyls that I buy, when you're actually playing a game, if you're like me, you tend to concentrate on solely what you're doing, and the soundtrack is a miss. And I think it was with this one and the next one, which I'm actually going to show you. It's an absolutely fantastic soundtrack, a beautiful designed album, and I'm talking about, of course, God of War, from the latest God of War, which came out last year. Absolutely beautiful soundtrack. As I say, these are from Mondo. You can get them from other places, but I'm not too sure. I think after a certain time, other franchises or other companies actually release these, but that's specifically in Mondo for probably 2 or 3 months before they pass them over to other companies. Even Data Discs pass their records over to Mondo eventually to sell through their company. But anyway, 2 vinyls, as you can see, 2 protagonists of the games, and each vinyl is a coloured vinyl, of course. Beautiful gold one there. Right, here we go. I knew I'd have this issue. I took it out with practice earlier on. I thought, right, I'm going to get this right so I never have to struggle. And now I'm struggling. There we go. There's the one. And then, of course, the second one, which is, of course, a blue vinyl. Absolutely amazing soundtrack. When you got time, and if you're like me, you love your vinyl, and you know, you just want to kill an hour, sit down and relax after work or something, you know, albums like this, you know, you put them on and you listen to, and you just reminisce about the game, of course, but also you then you realise how good and how the quality of music they do put into games. And as I say, when I play games, I just solely don't think about the music and I just concentrate on the game. But the soundtrack itself, absolutely fantastic. Beautiful artwork, of course. If you haven't listened to this soundtrack, highly recommended to pick it up. Whether you can, it's still available because this was like mid last year. I bought this as soon as I seen it. But fantastic soundtrack. That's the God of War soundtrack from Mondo. Right, next one from Mondo is a recent release, which we've hopefully most of us have played and really enjoyed. I absolutely loved the game. I think most of us like religiously went through it and platinum the thing. But I'm talking about Spider-Man. And yes, I picked up the original soundtrack from Mondo yet again of the latest Spider-Man game. And this is the double album. Obviously you can open it up and it's got like a scene from the games, Mr. Negative. But the albums are yet again coloured vinyl. These are the same colour, so I'll only pick one up. And of course they are red. But another fantastic soundtrack. Soundtrack that are actually, yet again, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're playing the game, you don't even think about the music. And I thought with this one, I thought I'm just going to give it a whirl, see what it's like. And it's not a bad soundtrack at all, actually. It really is. But of course, being a Spidey fan, I love anything to do with Spider-Man. So picking this up from Mondo is a no-brainer for me. But love the soundtrack. Yet another one to pick up if you haven't ever listened to it. But superb soundtrack from Mondo. And that is the Spider-Man official soundtrack. Right. Sorry about me disappearing, but I'm having to put from one end and put down on the other. Now, the next couple of Mondo titles are my, without fail, favourite set of gaming soundtracks of all time, and this being no exception. There's a bit of controversy about this cover. Not many people actually liked it, but I thought it wasn't a bad design. Probably could have followed the actual cover art of the original game a bit more, perhaps. They did so on the other versions, which you're going to see, the different records. But this one, you know, it's original artwork, and I quite like it. But the soundtrack is second to none. My favourite game of all time, easily, and it is, of course, Castlevania 4. And this is the Mondo edition, of course. And then this is a double album. Where, as you can see, the artwork there, that's the best part. You've got the actual map from the actual game in there. But the artwork on the front, of course, you know, there was a few complaints about it, saying, you know, they should have used the original artwork from the game. Personally, I don't mind. I think it's fantastic artwork. It's been a while since I've had a look at these ones, so let's have a look. I think this is a gold vinyls. Yeah, these are gold vinyls. But this soundtrack is easily, without fail, and the game itself is my favourite game of all time. Without question, I've said that ever since I first bought it on the Super Nintendo, and I'll never go back. It's always the best game. I'll always play it, always complete it, always enjoy it. And now to add the soundtrack to the collection, this will be and has been played a lot, because this is an absolutely awesome soundtrack. So that's Castlevania 4, the Mondo soundtrack. Absolutely the bee's knees, honestly, brilliant. Absolutely love it. And then let's continue with that format and in the same vein. And of course we have Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and this is yet another Mondo series game vinyl. Yet again, this one is a double album. Open it up. Beautiful artwork in this one. The artwork in this is absolutely incredible. Front, back, rear, absolutely fantastic. Now these vinyls are, I think they are white. Yes, they are. They're like a bone white. Really, really nice vinyls. This soundtrack, yet again, you know, to be honest, out of, you know, I say Castlevania 4 is, it is my favourite game. There's no two ways about that. But to be honest, I don't think I could really separate the soundtracks for the Castlevanias, because I think they're all as equally as listenable and amazing as each other. Especially this one. This is absolutely beautiful, being on the PS1. And the soundtrack for this anyway on the PS1 when you're playing this is a music that stands out more when you're playing a game. There's no two ways about that. But with all the Castlevania games, all the soundtracks stand out, and you know the music's blaring out as you're playing this, and you enjoy the music and the game at the same time. But absolutely beautiful to have that one. So that's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Right. And of course the final one. This one came out as an exclusive. I was very lucky because I was going to buy this off eBay. And it came out as an exclusive at, I think it was some sort of Seattle convention. And it was out for one day only. And it was given for like £150. And I was that close to buying it because I thought, I ain't going to get this. But thankfully I held back. And Mondo did actually release this, which I'm very, very happy about. And we're talking Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Absolutely superb. Now this is Dracula X, of course. Let's turn that over because you got two separate covers, and this is a double album, of course. Again, open it up for you, and now in here I'll have to turn it upside down. So you got this original artwork from Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and then you turn it over and then you have Castlevania Dracula X. Fantastic, absolutely beautiful artwork. Yet again, soundtrack second to none. Another soundtrack I would gladly listen to over and over and over again. Beautiful artwork on this, of course, and definitely my favourite series of soundtracks and plus games. Absolutely no question. So there's the next vinyl from Mondo, and probably I think this is the last one, and that is Castlevania Rondo of Blood / Dracula X. Did I show you the, did I show you? I didn't show you the vinyl, did I? No, let's take a look at the vinyl. Now these vinyls are blue. Blue splatter, very happy with that. Right, let's quickly pop that back in there. Sorry about the weight, there you go. So there you go. Nice blue vinyl, and of course Castlevania Rondo of Blood / Dracula X. Now this next one I've thrown in because it's part of the same series, but this is for a TV series, and I had to do it because the TV series is absolutely brilliant, and I've just put on Zavvi about a week ago a limited edition Blu-ray collector set, and it's like 1,000 and that's it, and I managed to snag one. Watch the second series. The second series is easily, well, it's longer of course, and it's much better as far as I'm concerned, but fantastic series. Looking forward to more. Hopefully they do more, but I'm talking about Castlevania, the music from the Netflix original series Castlevania, and this is a really good soundtrack. Now there are a number of variants on this because I've stuck mine on Instagram. Brilliant inside with the 3 main protagonists from the actual series, of course. Now there are, as I say, variants to this, because the variant I've got is like it's like a reddish black splatter. There is other colours you can get, but I'm assuming that's from, of course, other record dealers. And you also have a poster in here with a few notifications on the back there, but absolutely beautiful soundtrack. easily had to be bought anyway because one, it's Castlevania, of course, and two, it's a fantastic series. If you haven't watched it, go watch this series. And if you haven't got the soundtrack, get the soundtrack. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, there you go. That is the Castlevania Netflix original series soundtrack. And that is the only series one you're going to see, because we're going back to, yes, a series, but a series of games. Now, these games are... I'm a big fanatic of these. Now, I got these from the actual Namco site. And these weren't cheap. These weren't cheap at all, and I had to have them. I love the figures. I'm going to give it away a little bit. I've got the figures up there. I've got a lot of different variants of the games, and I'm talking about, for some people, probably one of the hardest games you could ever play, and you die plenty, and it's very frustrating. But let's talk about the Dark Souls series, and yes, this is album number 1. This is Dark Souls. A beautiful double album of the first game in the series, and they all come as different colours, and these are colours of different I can't think, crystals that you get within each game, and this of course is like a turquoise aqua blue colour, but haunting, fantastic soundtrack. You know, you listen to things like this and it just, you know, fills you. You can feel the atmosphere of the game while you're listening to this music. It's really, really, really good. If you're into these sorts of games, then you'll know. If you play, it's yet again, I think it's when I'm playing these games, you don't appreciate this music while you're playing it because you're too busy trying to stay alive. But listening to this music, very haunting, really atmospheric, fantastic. Absolutely superb album, and that's the first of the series. That's Dark Souls. So we might as well follow up with, of course, Dark Souls 2. Yet again, a double album, beautiful inlay, fantastic detail, absolutely beautiful printed artwork on there. Really, really nice. But yet again, this is this one, believe it or not, is 4 albums long. This is a long album. And this one is, of course, the red black splatter from one of the jewels within the game. But yet again, absolute fantastically haunting, atmospheric music. If you played Dark Souls, then you'll understand how good this soundtrack is. But as I say, these ain't cheap. These would probably nearly £50 a pop. They are quite expensive. But for a Dark Souls fan like moi, you have to have them. And yet again, absolutely fantastic soundtrack. So that's Dark Souls 2. And then, of course, we've got to finish a trilogy, haven't we? Dark Souls 3. And the artwork on that is amazing. I absolutely love the artwork on that. Nothing too familiar or any different about the back. Yet again, inside, beautiful artwork of one of the castles that you have to go through within the game. And let's have a look at the vinyl itself. And I think this one is going to be like a gold vinyl, of course. And it's a gold black splatter. But yet again, absolutely beautiful album. Fantastic series. And 3 albums. If you're a collector, you love your Dark Souls, absolute must. As I say, expensive. You can't even get this in a limited box set. But I was going to get that one, but I decided I prefer the album singular. But as I say, these touched 150 for the 3. So you know what I mean. They ain't cheap regardless, but absolutely beautiful. And very happy to have them. Really, really happy to have them. I waited nearly 3 or 4 months for these to come. So yeah, I can't say enough about these. They are fantastic albums. But there you go, guys. That is the 3rd in the series. That's Dark Souls 3. How are we going for time? 18 minutes. Ain't too bad, actually. Right, we ain't doing too bad. So let's move on to a bit of data discs. There's only 2. I've got one missing from the data discs collection, which is the Policenauts. I'm still umming and ahhing about buying it, to be honest with you, because obviously for me I had no relevance to the game, but the only reason I really want it is because the fact it's following the series and it's following the numbers. so I really ought to be buying it. So I will probably pick that up in a future episode, or if I get any more vinyls, which no doubt I'm going to. But taking a step back, number 13 in the collection. This is where they went astray from the Sega mode, and they actually brought out Metal Slug, which is an absolute must for any Neo Geo fan like me. Couldn't resist that. Absolutely brilliant artwork. Metal Slug on the back, of course, and nice double album. And then, of course, you've got your little poster in there, which is a nice little double-sided one, which is very, very nice. And then, of course, fantastic artwork inside of the Metal Slug ships and things like that. Now, the vinyl. Now, I think that this is going to be awkward to get back in, so I might not put this one back in. Yeah, it will be. This vinyl is a orange, yellow, and white splatter. But yeah, if you're a fan of the series, you know the series well, then this one is an absolute must for your collection from Data Discs. Absolutely fantastic album. I love it. Love the series. To be honest, I'd be happy if they just brought this one out, because the music is more or less the same anyway in all the games that they brought out. So, but if they brought another Metal Slug, I won't be complaining. I'll still buy it. But happy to have the original Metal Slug, and that's to say number 13 in the series. And very, very happy. Still collecting the Data Discs. Loving the Data Discs. As I say, Police and Noughts probably the only one I haven't got. But in the future, I may just pick it up. Right, so let's talk about the latest Data Discs. And there's going to be a lot of people out there who's going to have this. There's no two ways about it. And I played this yesterday or the day before. Blows it out of the water. This is probably one of the best in the set, apart from, of course, the Streets of Rage soundtrack. It's a good shoot 'em up soundtrack, this one, and it is, of course, Thunder Force 4. I think it's Thunder Force 4. Yes, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is an absolute beaut. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack. I've got this, of course, on the Mega Drive. I've got the Genesis version of Thunder Force 4. It isn't actually called Thunder Force. It's called Lightning Force on the Genesis. But absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Beautiful. As soon as I seen this, I thought, yeah, I'm in with that. And then, of course, you get your poster of the front cover. Beautiful poster. And I managed to... Oh, we got... Actually, no, that's the divider. This is a double album. And, of course, we've got a beautiful black/blue effect. And, as I say, anybody who's played this game knows the beginning of the soundtrack and how awesome it is. And, as I say, I listened to this, and it is an absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Easily one of my favourite of the Data Disc series, without a doubt. Sorry about the glare, guys. I've got this thing on there. I've still got to get some protective sleeves for these, but the best one. If you haven't got this, get this. And you love Thunder Force, absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Banging soundtrack. Blast this as loud as you possibly can, because it is such an awesome soundtrack. And so Data Discs are doing a fantastic job of producing some fantastic albums from some classic Mega Drive games. I'd like to see them spread the wings to see if they can get licenses for other games or other companies. But you know what? At the moment, there's plenty of Mega Drive games and plenty of Mega Drive goodness that can release as soundtracks. So looking forward to the future of Data Discs. But that is easily my favourite one. And that's number 18 in the series. And that's Thunder Force 4. Okay, two more to go. Now these ones, I can't remember the place where I got them from, but they are two fighting games, and I haven't even opened them yet. I've left them sealed, so I'm not going to open them. They're coloured vinyls. One's an orange vinyl, and I know one is a blue see-through vinyl. But these are Neo Geo titles. Definitely two of my favourite. Well, the first one is definitely one of my favourite fighting games of all time. Absolutely fantastic, and the soundtrack is to boot. It is seriously excellent. And we are talking the art of fighting. And this is absolutely, obviously, as you can see, it's still sealed, but this soundtrack is awesome. I absolutely love this soundtrack. Love everything about this game, the characters, the gameplay, it is just one of the fighters for me on the Neo Geo without question. Absolutely fantastic game. But as soon as I seen this vinyl, I thought it has to be added to the collection, of course. So I picked that one up. I'm very, very happy with that one. So there's the Art of Fighting. So you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Now this one's pretty special because this one is a limited edition. And this one is, of course, Art of Fighting 2. Excellent artwork. This game is a lot harder than its original counterpart. Very hard indeed. But soundtrack again, I don't think it's a good soundtrack, what I can remember of it, but it's not as popular as, for me, the original one. But this is an absolutely beautiful artwork, and if it's anything to do with the Art of Fighting series, I'm going to have it anyway. But absolutely fantastic album. Now the special thing about this one is a limited edition, and you get this card with it, and it is signed by I ain't even going to bother reading the names, but I'll turn it round, and it's signed by the designer of SNK and the producer of SNK, and this one is 102 out of 150. So there you go, if you can see the signatures on the card. So it's an official signed card that goes with the album. Now there was only 150 of these, so I'm very, very happy to have one of the 150 signed editions. I'm well happy with that. So there you go, guys. That is it. That is all my vinyl up to date for you, and I'm going to actually open them pair today after I've done this video, and I'm going to stick them on and crank them up. Now, talking about vinyl, I've just got to put a quick thank you out there, because if it wasn't for Pete Armour on a retro tip, I wouldn't be playing these vinyl, because he gave me a record player beginning back 2 years now, and I've still got that same record player, and it's doing me justice, mate. So thank you for that, mate, yet again. 2 years later, I've only just changed the needle on it because the needle died on me, so I had to replace the needle recently, but it is doing me justice, and it is a blooming good record player until I wear it out. So cheers, Pete, thank you for that, mate. So that's the vinyl out of the way. Let's talk about me a little bit now. I'm not going to keep you. It's 27 minutes. Keep it to probably about half an hour. Now, as I say, bit more structure in my life. Yes, I think that's what I need. And I think my life over the last 8 months has been a bit of a blur. A lot of things have just, like, my days have just moulded into one. Get up, go to work, come home, sleep, get up, go to work. And it comes to the weekends and I'm doing the same things, and I'm doing the same things over and over again. And I'm getting to a point where I get up and I do the same thing every day, and I think, and in myself, I'm going, oh, I'll play that game tomorrow. I'll watch that film later. I'll go out and go to the cinema and see that another time. It's getting to that point. And I'm neglecting a lot of things. Neglecting my videos, neglecting my games, neglecting watching films, neglecting my wife, my dog, my family, friends I don't even talk to anymore, which I talk to regularly every week. Things have to stop. So I've got to put a bit of structure in my life. So it's going to be the case of, from next week, of course, I'm going to be waking up and every day is going to have something happen in it, whether it be I'm going to sit there for a couple of hours before I go to work and crack onto some games that I've got, and I've got plenty of them. I'm going to be listening to my vinyl, watching plenty of films, because I've got about 20 downstairs that I ain't even opened up yet. I've just got Into the Spider-Verse, which I'm actually going to watch later on. Just general things. I need to get back into focus. I need my life to come, like, take the blinkers off, see there's a world out there, get my life back into order a little bit. And, you know, I've got friends I need to talk to again, to keep back in contact with. You know, my family I don't talk to enough of. I just need to get structure. I need to sort my head out and get myself out of the groove and back into the open world, and, so, you know, just get my life back into order, because it's just the same and it's dull and boring, and I've just let myself go and slide, and I've just been very selfish in myself and with a lot of people, and I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. But that's it. Focus, commitment, from next week, it's a different me. Right, that's enough about me. Let's talk about shoutouts. Yes, I've got the urge. I love shoutouts now. I did 2 in the last one, and I'm going to do another 2 today. I'm going to try and leave links, or at least hashtag the names at the top of this video. And 2 YouTubers I'm going to do possibly every video now if I can. New, old, I want to remind you of people that used to do YouTube and should get their asses back on YouTube. People that are new to the community, which I think definitely deserve a shout out, and these 2 are no exception. So I'll start with Mr. Bads. Now, Mr. Bads, I think his name is Paul. I apologise if it isn't, but anyway, Mr. Bads, fantastic channel. This guy is a serious collector. He's like the same vein as me. He's kind of a bit of a multi-format collector. He loves his Japanese systems. He loves his Mega Drives. He loves his. He's got. Well, put it this way, he's got a lot. He loves his collectible games. He loves his Spectrum. You know, he collects by series and things like that. In terms of this guy knows his stuff, and if you, I think he needs a lot more views. The guy's a fantastic guy. He knows his stuff. He's got a fantastic channel, and I reckon you guys, if you haven't seen or gone to his channel, go and check out Mr. Bads. I'll leave as I say, I'll try and leave a link to his channel. The guy's a serious collector. It makes me small fry because he has got some serious stuff. Honestly, he's really got some serious collection gearing, and the guy knows how to spend money, just like me. So go and check out Mr. Bads, and the next one is kind of a new watch for me, and it's Rollerxcore. I apologise, I'm not too sure about you. I forgot your name because I'm literally winging this one as I'm going along. But his YouTube name is Rollerxcore, and this guy's a bit of everything. He's a CEX guy. He loves charity shop. He goes to car boots. And his last few videos, he's picked up some right corking games. I tell you, some nice Sega Saturn shooters. And he's also been picking up some a very, very nice N64 game in his last video. But the guy definitely knows his stuff. And as I think as Tootie said when he mentioned him before, he picks up things like nobody's ever seen before, or they've totally forgot about it and thinking, I can't remember that game, or I ain't seen that game in years. You know what I mean? He's like this kind of guy who finds some good cracking PS2 titles, N64 games. He finds things that people forget about or people have never heard of, and that's what YouTube's all about. Go back to the good old days, nice pickup videos, seeing people pick up stuff that you've never heard of, you've wanted, you've never saw before, thinking, great, I know where I can get this from. I'll ask him where I can, you know, the conversations there. He's a really great guy. He's a bit of he's a rollerblader. That's why he's called Rollerxcore, of course. He did a little bit of footage at the end of one of his videos, doing his rollerblading. Got some quality tats, by the way, on the back of your hand, kiddo. Well done. Can't beat some tattoos. I need more myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, Mr. Bads and Rollerxcore, I'll leave their hashtags at the bottom of this video. Go and check these guys out. 2 fantastic channels. Need your support, need your subs, and just tell them I sent you to watch him, or watch them, should I say, because they are 2 fantastic channels. So guys, that's another 2 channels shouted out. I will do my research next time and make sure I know the names of the people that I'm actually going to shout out. Apologies to you guys, but your shout out has been done. I'm going to do this every video now, because I think I love the shout outs. I think next video I'm going to try and do you know, get like a question out there. So let's get you guys doing VRs to, you know, questions like it used to be. You know, get you up there and I'll put a question out there. Let's see if you can do VRs to me, and like just bring back the good old days. Get the, you know, the community back together, because that's what I'm missing. There's nobody out there. That, you know, it's a bit of a wilderness out there lately. You know, there's only a few of us on there. I mean, I can hold my hands up, I'm just as bad. I haven't been on myself a lot lately, but that's going to change, believe me. But anyway, guys, enough waffling. I'll drink my cold tea. And boy, it is cold. But yeah, enough waffling. Guys, I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you watch all the way through this nearly 35-minute video. And as per usual, guys, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, guys, and remember, always keep watching. Till next time, guys, all the best.